Alright guys, this video is going to be a good one because we literally just scaled a store from about $100 a day. Now keep in mind, when I say $100 a day, I literally mean $100 a day for the last 6 months to now 15K a day in 30 days, okay? If you're struggling in eCom or you're losing hope in your brand, this one's for you. Don't go anywhere. Watch this from the beginning till the end. I'm going to tell you exactly what we did to scale this store to those numbers in such a short period of time. Now before I do guys, I just want to say one thing. If you're new here, my name is Manny. I've been in eCom for the last 13 years. I've sold over $100 million worth of products online. I've also wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars making mistakes. I started this YouTube channel to share free information to help you guys. If you could, please press subscribe, like this video, share it with your friend. It would mean the world to me. It just shows me that you love the content that I'm pushing out and motivates me to push out more for you, because honestly, this stuff should be illegal what I'm sharing with you. So let's jump in. Now, a little bit of background story, okay? This brand has been stuck at $100 a day for the last 6 months. And when I met the owners, they were honestly ready to give up. In fact, one of the founders actually walked away from the business, okay? That's how serious it was getting. But there are a few things that we could do to literally turn it around in a matter of a week. And they are now literally messaging me saying, Manny, what the fuck is going on? Like, how are our sales like this? And the funniest thing is these guys don't have a 3PL set up. They're doing over 100 orders a day, right? They're profitable and they're still packing orders themselves, sending me videos and photos of them sweating with like hundreds of boxes around them. So it's been a bit of a laugh, but I guess I'm making this one as well, but just to share with you guys that anything is possible. And there are a few things that you need to do to really turn things around. You won't know these things unless you've been in the game for long enough. And trust me, I've made more mistakes than you can imagine. And my job is to make sure you don't make those same mistakes. So guys, the first thing I want to do is just show you the results. This is the last 7 days. So they're sitting at about 67K. If I go over to sales here, you can see 15,000, 15,000, a little bit lower today. But I mean, overall, if I show you the last 90 days, these results are just, mind blowing. So, we're literally talking a sale every 2 days, some days one sale, and then, gradually scaling. If we go to analytics as well, we can have a look. Their conversion rate used to be really low too, but if you go on the last 7 days, you can see that it's actually picked up massively. So we're talking a good 4.6%. Now, just one thing to keep in mind, guys, whatever your add to cart is, a healthy complete checkout is about a quarter of it. So these guys are sitting at more than 50%. More than 50% of people that added to cart have bought. That's how you know that we're driving high quality traffic to their store. The first thing that we needed to do is find an emotional hook. Most people think of a hook as the first 3 seconds of any video, something that grabs attention. I like to think of it as something a little bit different. We often talk about targeting desires when we're marketing a product online. Now, a desire is an expected benefit, but it's on an emotional level within the consumer. So let me explain. With this particular product, it's meant to solve a dog's anxiety. Not meant to, it does solve a dog's anxiety. What this means is that the product benefit is that the dog owners, when they're at work, can go out and feel safe knowing that their dog's not going to be anxious and destroying their home. The dog is not the consumer. The parent, aka the mum and dad of the dog, is the consumer. Now, what these guys are doing is they were running ads that were really broad, okay? And what happens is when you're running an ad that's really broad, you're basically going to drive up your CPA costs because Facebook's not going to accurately predict who to deliver that piece of content to. So instead of finding, for example, a husband and wife duo who live in an apartment, who leave their dog out all day, who is, by the way, is their target audience, it's just going to deliver your videos to people with dogs. And that is not their target demographic. The same thing with skincare. People with skin is not your demographic. You have to narrow it down, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing we did is deep customer research, okay? So we figured out exactly who the people are that we're targeting, what they've tried before, and how exactly the products that they've tried before failed them. Now, this is a very good point, okay? Because comparison is a super powerful tool when you're selling something online. Now, I just want to show you guys something because this is the extent of it. So if you look at February as an example, they spent $1,500 at a 0.13x. Now, if I swap over to March, I just want to show you guys the difference that it's made. So we've spent 14,000 at a 2x ROAS. Now, this is March. Now, if you go to this month, from the 1st until the 17th, we've spent 51,000 and 1.5. Now, yes, the ROAS has dipped, but we're scaling quite aggressively because this is a subscription product, okay? Keep that in mind. So they're still making profit on their initial order, but you can see the massive increase in volume. By the way, this is in USD, okay? First thing we did is we found people that fit their custom avatar to be in the ads. Now, this is super important because when you guys are creating ads using content creators, there's this common misconception that you need to use super well-spoken creators that charge a big fee. It's not the case. What we did is we found people that actually fit their demographic so that when the audience is watching the ad, they visualize themselves in that situation. We straight away emit an emotion. Now, I'm not going to show you the ads because of confidentiality. I will say that the opening hook that we're leading with immediately puts the viewer in that same situation. And the hook is igniting an emotion, which is being scared, fear of leaving your dog at home. Immediately it grabs attention. Once we've done that, we then structured the rest of the ads with the help of a creative agency who used our customer research to then formulate their ads, okay? The ads then go on to describe a situation that we already know that our consumers been in, okay? So again, we're making the customers feel understood. So first, ignite an emotion. Number two, make your audience feel understood. Then we launch their ads into an Advantage Plus shopping campaign with a cost cap. Now follow me on this. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I love bid caps, but for some clients, I do use cost caps. And that's because it can be extremely good at hitting profitability quick. Now, because these guys had burnt so much money, we whacked all their ads into an ASC cost cap. We know what it is, and we just let it spend, okay? And as always, you know I love to automate things. I don't touch the budget. We double down on the creative, we get them into the campaign, and we let Facebook do its thing. Now, what I want to show you guys is something really important, and I guarantee you this is stopping you from scaling. If you have a look at this top ad here has had 479 purchases, right? $16,000 spent, but it's only at a 1.38. Now, a lot of you will look at this and go, oh my God, I need to turn that ad off because the CPA is lower. But this is where you're getting it wrong. When you're running Facebook ads, remember, there's what's called a funnel, top, middle, and bottom of funnel. Every single piece of content that you guys launch has a different place in the funnel. Now, we know for certain that this ad is delivering to a cold audience. How we know that is by looking at the frequency of the ad. So if we were to switch this ad off, it's going to stop new cold audience from coming into the funnel. The other ads that we have live in this ad account have a very low CPA, some of them, but that's because they're bottom of funnel ads and they're specifically made to be bottom of funnel ads, okay? All you need to take away from this is look at things from a campaign level. When you're looking at all of your ads, especially if you have, say, 50 plus creatives in an Advantage Plus, look at your account-wide ROAS. You don't need to look at ads on a super individual basis, constantly switching ads on and off. All you're gonna do is you're gonna mess with your performance. Now, think back in time. Have I switched off an ad that had a higher CPA and then the next day my sales tanked? And you're probably scratching your head going, shit, yeah, that's probably happened to me. Guys, it's happened to me a lot as well, okay? The thing is, we are still on 1.55x, even though this is at a 1.38. Now look at this ad, 1.98, 1.37, 1.4. These are all still on, okay? You can see they're all still active, they're all still spending, we haven't switched any of them off. They're all still learning as well. So there is a place for cost caps, okay? And when I talk about bid caps, I don't speak about them in the way where it's the only campaign structure that can work and that you have to switch a whole campaign over to it, all right? In certain circumstances, like I said before, cost caps are great because they will drive profitability if you have good ads. Now, the primary focus for this particular client was to hit profitability quickly and scale. So we had to save their business. So for me, Advantage Plus shopping, cost cap was the way to go. The last thing we did, now you need to make sure whatever's in your ads is on your product page. If there's unique selling propositions, specific avatars, things like that, make sure that the lander that you're bringing people on mirrors what's in the ad. So what we did is after we created all the creatives, we changed their product page and made sure everything they had in it was also in the ad content. So there was consistency and flow, whether that be the specific avatar, the type of person that was in the ad, the unique selling propositions we mentioned, the benefits of the product, everything is now on the product page, which has led to that high increase in conversions. And just remember guys, if you are struggling, just bring it back down to the basics. Now, assuming you have product market fit, you have a good website, you've got a good funnel, and your ads aren't working, you just got to think about this logically. When you're running broad targeting through Facebook ads, and this doesn't matter if it's through Advantage Plus or Original Audience, lowest cost bid cut, it doesn't matter. It's still going to deliver to a broader audience. If your CPAs are high, it generally means that your targeting is off, and it always has to do with your creative or the way that you're speaking to the consumer. Facebook is trying to find users that resonate with your audience, okay? It wants to generate conversions that are profitable for you, especially if you're using something like cost controls, such as a cost cap or a bid cap. If your CPAs are coming in above the cost cap level, or your ads aren't spending, you have a creative problem. Keep it simple. Always bring it back to the point of, do I understand the consumer, and am I targeting that consumer's needs and desires in my ad? Am I speaking to them in a way that makes them feel understood? Is it encouraging for them to try the product? Am I igniting an emotion, right? It's really helpful to write down different emotions, right, on a literal piece of paper, or write them down on your computer, and make sure you pair emotions that you are going to target in that ad. Instead of throwing glue at a wall, just slow down, take your time, do some research behind the creatives you push out. Now, don't get me wrong, creative volume is important, but what I'm saying is it's also important to make sure that there's substance behind what you're producing. So instead of rushing it, slow down, do your research, and then execute. Take this as your sign to never give up. In eCom, it can be tough. There can be weeks, even months, where your ad results are going to suck. Most of the time, in my 13 years of experience, after seeing thousands of different brands and my own, it's always because of a lack of customer understanding, okay? Also, don't be afraid to invest money in your content. Once we did our customer research, we hired an agency to create our creatives, and it cost us around $8,000. But the thing is, these guys have paid back their ad cost tenfold, all right? Don't be scared to invest in content. When you're building up an eCom brand, you literally have a content machine. So stick it out, do your customer research, use cost controls in the ad account to minimize your downside, and let it rip. I'll see you guys in the next one.